Hi everyone. I've got another video lesson for you. As I said in the last video, I'm going to be away this coming week, so I'll do a slightly more comprehensive one, introducing a new topic, and which I hope you find useful. Okay, you remember this is the code we left off with, and it works fine, but the problem is it'll only work if the last order that has been created happens to be in the chart that you're interested in. Okay, so what we want to do now is solve this problem and say we want to get the last order that exists in the chart that we're interested in, whether it's the last order that was created in total or not. Okay, now in order to do this, basically what we have to do is look through all the orders. Okay, so it's simple enough, and to do this you use a loop. Okay, and we're going to use something called a for loop. So I'm just going to start writing it and I'll explain what it is. Okay, so first I'm going to create a variable which is called order index. I had one before and then I got rid of it. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is write the following. What I want to do is a loop. Okay, and I'm going to start off my loop having order index equal num orders minus 1, which, as we know, is the last order that's been created anywhere across any of the charts. Okay, now I want to keep doing this loop until I've looked at all the order indices there are, and the last order index is going to be 0. So as long as order index is greater than or equal to 0, I want to carry on doing my looping. Okay, and each loop I'm going to change order index by minus 1. Okay, now this is some code here. This minus means reduce the value of that variable by 1. Okay, incidentally, if you use plus plus, that means increase by 1. Okay, but I want to decrease order index by 1. Okay, so now I have to put some squiggly brackets, and this is one of the other situations where you have to have squiggly brackets. Okay, so after a for loop, and so we had it for if statements here, and now this is for loop. You have to have a squiggly bracket. Okay, so basically what happens here, I'm going to put some code in here, and what happens is that it starts off and sets order index to the num orders minus 1. So say we've got 10 orders, for example. It'll set order index to 9. Okay, it'll then do all the code that I write in here. At the end of this bit, it then checks this condition here. As long as this condition is still true, in other words, order index is still greater than or equal to 0, it'll then do this block again. Okay, but before it does the block, it does this statement here. In this case, it reduces order index by 1. So, if we had 10 orders, it starts off that order index is 10. Sorry, it's 9, it's 10 minus 1, okay? It does the code, and then this is still true, because 9 is greater than 0, and so it then reduces order index by 1, so order index now becomes 8. So then does this code again, and it checks and so on like this. So what you can see, and I'll prove it to you, order index equals, let's just print it out, okay? And then you'll see what's going on. Let's tidy up a bit, don't like messy code. Okay, and for now I'm going to comment out this bit here, okay? So what I mean is I don't want to do this bit of code. So this is a useful little trick. If you write that, and then write that, okay, all the bit in between you see has gone grey. And what it means is that tells the compiler that this is just a comment in the code, and it's not something that I actually want the compiler to look at. Okay, now you often use comments for helping you to understand the code. So say I want to write a comment that this is looping over all the orders to find the last one for the chart we are interested in. That reminds us what we're doing. Now if I put 2 slashes like that, that makes that grey. That means that line there, just this line here, is a comment. So it's something that I've just written to help me look at the code, and the compiler should ignore it. Okay. If you're doing more than one line to comment out, then you use this combination of slash star and then star slash. Okay. So what I've done here is I put a comment there to remind myself what this is. I'm now at the moment just doing an alert here to show me, I want to illustrate how these for loops work. And I'm not going to do this bit at the moment, so I've commented it out. So let's compile that, and it all works okay. Right, so now let's go to our chart. Let's put in a bunch of orders. Okay, I'm going to put a bunch of orders in different charts. Okay, it's a whole bunch of orders. Now I'm going to drop. So we've got we've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 orders. Okay, I'm going to drop this in here, and lo and behold, you can see that it goes this way up. Okay, so you do this one first. So order index was 5 because there were 6 orders. Then it's 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. So basically, let's just get rid of all these orders. Basically, see, we're going through this loop each time, printing out the order. So that just illustrates what's happening in this loop. Okay. Right. So we don't actually just want to print that thing. We want to do something more useful. And you remember this code here. Let's get this back now. So get rid of let's take it from there and stick it in here. Now, so for each order index, and we're starting at with the last one. Okay. What I want to do is first. Well, num orders, we no longer need to check whether it's 0, okay, because we're now dealing with a specific order. We know what the order index is. So I want to see if I can select that particular order. Okay, so I'm going to put order index, which we know is going from the last order to all the way to the first order. So if I can select it, and if the symbol of the chart is the same as the symbol of the selected order, then I want to do my alert. Okay. So basically what this is going to do is go through the code, and if it's that particular order is relevant to the chart that we've loaded, then I'm going to do my alert. Okay. Now if I leave the code like this, let's get rid of that and compile it, and we'll put in all our orders again. I'm going to put 3 in here. Let's do what I did last time. Okay, let's drop this into here. Okay, now what you see is it prints this out for each of the 3 orders that are in gold, because of the 3 orders where it matches in gold. And if I then now drop this in here, there's 2 orders for euro dollar, so it prints them both out. And I'll drop it in here, there's only 1 order in dollar yen, and it prints that one out. Okay, so what we're seeing now is we're going through this loop, and let me just get rid of these orders. I don't know why I did that. I'm going to have to put them back in again in a moment anyway. So we're now processing all the orders that are relevant to this chart. Okay, so we're doing, in this case, we're doing it for gold when there were 3 orders. We actually did this alert 3 times. Now, say you only want to do the last order, right? And that's the reason why I started with the last order rather than the first one. Say I want to do the last order. What you do next is this statement called break. And what break means is that you should break out of the for loop. So you're doing this loop here, but once it hits a break statement, it jumps to here. It basically stops doing the for loop and exits, okay? So it gets to the end. So now with this code, it'll only print this alert out for the last order, okay? So let's check that compiles. So back to here again. So I'm going to put in 2 orders in there, okay? So buying at 6.99 and 6.11. The last order is 6.11. Okay, drop the script in, and lo and behold, it is telling me about the 6.11 one. Okay, so there we are. So it's now just printing it once and telling me about the last order. Okay, so there you go. What I've introduced to you is to the new concept, which is the for loop, and how it works. And now we've used that for loop so that now we can select the last order for the chart in which we've dropped this. Now we're now at the point where we're going to start doing something useful, because we've now managed to home in on the last order. So you put an order in a chart, you can put order in a whole bunch of charts, then you drop the script in that chart, will now be able to process the last order in that chart. Okay, and so what we'll start doing next time is actually start modifying that order, so we can start looking at setting stop losses and profit levels, deleting orders and things that actually can start getting to the point where we're doing useful stuff. Okay, so there you are, some quite difficult concepts there to get to grips with. As always with this programming, it's worth experimenting, fiddle around with it. You're not going to break anything. As long as you're doing it on a demo chart. So fiddle around, try things out, explore, look at the help reference, all that kind of thing. That really gets, that way you'll get a feel for it. Yeah, okay. Right, so that's it for now. See you next time. Bye.